that everything that happens in the Black community has nothing to do with the conditions in which Black people exist in.
Yeah, I was gonna say Public's right on the systemic level. That does tie back, but
I'm not understanding. Like,
I'm just not. I don't. So I just don't see the connection between a little Black girl being unalived by pew pew violence by a Black man being linked to systemic. I just don't see that.
So
5 of them every day.
Everybody up here is educated, so I got to ask the question: is or is not violence typically connected to socioeconomic conditions?
Yes.
Okay.
But when we talk about that, that's a race thing. But that's a Black
any
person
form of
thing.
violence could be and would be connected to socioeconomic conditions.
But that's a Black
the violence
person.
is worse, Katie. That's why the violence is worse in the Black neighborhood. It is not solely why the violence exists, but that's why it's exacerbated, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the reason why it happens is because of socioeconomic conditions. I'm not saying that. I know that the reasons why it happens the numbers are higher per capita in the Black community is because of the socioeconomic conditions.
Correct. The problem that I have with
trying to separate that and say, well, no, it's just because we're Black or it's because it's Black men versus Black. I'm like, no.
The problem that I have with that is when we take the onus off, then it turns into that's the excuse for that violence happening. Because if we're waiting for the system to do something to stop that, right? If we're waiting for the system to be dismantled, then 5 Black women and girls being unalived every day is just going to continue to happen until the system changes. So what if that's the case? Then what are we doing to fight to combat that?
Wait.
Because the conversations that I'm hearing on the can I finish? Oh my God.
Go ahead, Paula. Go ahead.
When we talk about these issues and the actual, if we're saying if that's what I'm coming off by saying that the system plays a part. But when we talk about the fight and we talk about who's the enemy, Black men are saying Black women are.
No, they're not. I agree. They're not.
Right? We're not able to blame the system. They're not blaming the system for Black women being single mothers. They're blaming her. They're blaming Black women's. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. We don't have we're not able to do that. When you take the onus off of us, I mean, you put it on us, but then they take it off for the man and saying, you know what? Y'all, we're unalived every 3.5 hours. It's the white man's fault in the system for that. Instead of saying, you know what? Yes, we live in this society, but you can make a better choice not to unalive the women in your community at an astronomical rate.
Right.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. When that's not the conversation, right?
Go ahead.
If we talk about the problems,
I think what I'm saying, but Katie,
I think both of those things can be true at once. You can disagree, but can I finish talking?
I don't disagree with that though, Katie.
Oh my God. So
it's because we understand what you're saying.
Let me land my plane and then y'all could go off.
Go ahead.
Period. Then when we talk about the issues in the community, it lying on Black women, right? Then we're like, okay, it's the system. Boom, give it to the system. But then they're not fighting the system. The conversations are about Black women wearing hair and nails and makeup. Yeah. So then what? The people who are saying, you know what? It's the system that's causing me to unalive you every 5.5 hours, 3 to 5 hours. It's the system's fault. But no, you're my biggest enemy.
Yeah, I think we're having, just so we're clear, I'm not having the discussion of what Black men say, or, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that. I'm just actually talking about how it actually plays out within our community, the effects of the socioeconomic conditions in which we exist in, which aren't our fault, right? Which I hope we all can agree with that, right? It's not our fault solely. It's not our fault solely that we live in these conditions. It's not our fault solely that we live in these conditions. I want to say that again. I'm saying that, so if you accept that part of it, if you know that that a lot of the reason why the issues are worse in our community is because of the socioeconomic conditions, then who created those conditions? Of course we know it's white supremacy and the white patriarchy and blah, 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 blah. There's no need in us lying about it either way. I don't need to lie about it I don't need to do it to run cover for Black men, which I would never do. And I also don't need to do it the opposite way and not acknowledge it at all. I think both of those extremes are problematic and counterproductive. That, and I wholesale that idea without a doubt. There is no, I don't care if you are out here unaliving people. I will never let you tell me because the white man told me to do it. It would never fly. I would never buy that, right? That's not, of course, nobody up here would defend that. But on a systemic level, right, can we recognize how the system plays a role in our interpersonal relationships? How the money being funny creates more violence, right? Because white T men also unalive white T women, right? Am I wrong about that? White T men do it too, right? Asian men do it too, right? Wealthy men do it too, right? It ain't just broke niggas that be out here abusing women. It be rich niggas out here doing it too, right? So if rich niggas are doing it and broke niggas are doing it, but it's happening more in the broke neighborhood, I'm going to say, okay, the reason why it's happening so much in our neighborhood is because we are broke. But the reason why it is happening to begin with is because of the patriarchy and misogyny. That is what I understand.
Yeah, I think you and Flawless are both correct. But
I don't think she's wrong. That's what I'm saying. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, I want to also be like reaffirm though, Flawless. We do, Black women, when we have these conversations, we are always holding them accountable to that every day though. We're saying that that's not an excuse for you to individually be a dickhead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're saying that because your actions, because of whatever systemically got started, is not an excuse for you to mistreat us or degrade us or not believe us or throw a brick at us or whatever. Like,
and not try to get better.
We don't let them get away with that. That's not even a thing. I've never been a part of those conversations where we just skip over that shit. Like, not at all. We all constantly tell Black men on here every fucking live like that they're wrong for the shit that they're doing, no matter how fucking hard their life is not an excuse to go ahead and unalive somebody because you're mad, or because your dad left you, or because you didn't have a good example from a woman on how a relationship should look like, and she was a single mom and all this bullshit. Like, we're not doing that. No.
100% a fact. That's it.
I also wanted to add to this, and then I'm going to drop down because I got shit to do. I have to go into work. But yeah, I think what Flawless was saying, I hear you. But a lot of times when we have that type of conversation and we're painting it and framing it the way you do, it kind of leans into that whole like black on black crime type rhetoric. And I think that specific rhetoric is dangerous, and that specific rhetoric also feeds into white supremacy and those things. Now, I think there's a difference between personal accountability to the individuals that are perpetuating these things and this harm, and then also acknowledging, like Public said, on a larger scale, you see that there's almost a direct correlation between socioeconomic status and these types of crimes, especially when you look at our neighborhoods. That one of the biggest issues why so many people are being unalived is due to gang and drug related activity, right? So if it's gang and drug related activity, we also know who put the drugs in there, what is getting people to desire to get involved into these gangs and to sell these drugs and so on and so forth. So I think what the bigger issue is, and what you're speaking about, Flawless, is the ways in which a lot of Black men, specifically on the internet, I'm going to say, and maybe in real life as well, do not want to acknowledge on their end who the issue is. I mean, on our end, who the issue is. So, and I agree. I think that double standard is ridiculous. How can you say, oh, this is due to systemic racism, in terms of like quote unquote black on black crime, but can't acknowledge that when it comes to like single motherhood or fatherlessness, even fatherlessness to a certain degree. There are systemic racial issues in our communities that do exacerbate fatherlessness, that does not take away from the personal accountability to the fathers who are absent without any reason. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things can be true at once. And I think that's what Public was attempting to say. Yeah. But I also think it's we need to be very careful in the ways in which we feed into the hypercriminalization of Black men. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, hold up. We're kind of teetering that line here. Should we be holding Black men responsible and accountable for perpetuating misogynoir and unaliving Black women? Absolutely. Can we also acknowledge that this is a systemic issue? And if we are going to attack it, we have to attack it from that. And primarily to change the culture going forward, also yes.
Yeah, and Katie, I want to let you know, I know that proximity is you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, that's the whole thing. Like we know that, right? Like, I would hope everybody
Yeah,
knows
so
that.
how does what I say sound like YT supremacist, black on black crime when I literally it's proximity? So
Well, then,
everyone knows that black on black crime, it doesn't exist.
yeah.
It's about proximity.
So let's go back.
How
So
does
let's go
that
back.
sound?
Wait.
Like I
So let's
thought we
go
were
back
all
to the
mature enough
beginning then,
to figure
right?
that out.
Yeah. So let's go. So let's go back to the beginning, because the way we got on this was, I think you let me know. I was just saying that white men don't. I was saying that men overall don't protect women overall. That was my thing. I was saying white men don't protect white women. They protect white women more than they protect every other demographic of women, but they don't protect white women because it's a whole. To me, it's a wholesale idea. You either do or you don't. You see what I'm saying? So do they do it more? Okay, yeah, but will I say that they are actually invested in the protection of white T women? No, I will not say that. For without a doubt, white T men are not interested in protecting white women. Same way black men overall are not invested in protecting black women. The same way I'll say Asian men overall, like that was my whole point. And then you interjected and said, well, black men, if I'm not mistaken, you said black men online, they're talking about being passport bros and things of that nature. Am I correct so far?
No, so I was responding to when I asked, how do black men as a collective show that they love black women, and you're saying that you don't think anyone, no man of any race does that.
Yeah.
But and then I said how they don't say white T women, they say modern women, or they say women as a whole. They don't directly say black women. They don't directly say white T women like black men do. That was the comparison. And then that's how we got into the crime against black women specifically. And the thing that I'm saying is that what happens is it's easy to compare black men and women together.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, the problems with black women get put to the wayside because the problems with black men are exacerbated. Like when we talk about the school to prison pipeline, black little girls are part of that pipeline too. But when you compare it to black boys, you don't see that huge disparity because it's not as bad as it is
They're
for
doing way
black.
more. They're doing
Yeah,
better than
and
black
there's more
boys.
black boys,
Yeah.
period, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you compare our numbers to other races of women, that is when you see the huge differences, not really when you compare us to the men. That's what I was pointing out, those different disparities, because when we talk about the problems in the black community, a lot of them look like they fall onto black men, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about the mass incarceration, when we talk about pew pew violence, when we talk about police brutality, it all falls on black men. But then we never talk about black women dying 3 times more likely to unalive during childbirth.
Got it.
3 times more likely just being pregnant, being unalived by said baby father.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about those numbers. And that's if they even make it to childbirth and having unalive in those hospitals. Those right there, that's the race issue. But then it becomes a gender issue before they even end up at the hospital. So that's my whole thing, is that when we talk about the issues in the black community, it's a problem when you compare us to the men, because when you do that, we're going to be invisible. That's why they have an entire book called Invisible Women, because since we live in a patriarchal society, that is how black men benefit. You all's issues get pushed to the forefront.
Yep.
And ours do not.
And first of all, you already know, me and you've had that discussion many a times, and I 1000% agree with that. That part is 100% true. Everything you just said about that is true. We never compare black women to white women or non-black women. We always compare black women to black boys, and then black men say, see, y'all got an advantage over us. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it goes. And it's like, nah, that's not, that's not how it should be compared. We should be comparing ourselves to the standard, right? I would do that the same way when I talk about in a relationship, I say we're always comparing ourselves to other men, to other fathers, right? We're always like, I'm doing better than Chuck across the street. I'm doing better than any man I know. But in reality, you should be comparing yourself to the woman. You should be comparing yourself to the mother of your children, not the fathers in other relationships, because the bar is so low for them. You know what I'm saying? But, for whatever reason, the bar is so low for men that we know the reasons are. But for the bar is so low for men, why are you comparing yourself to other men as opposed to comparing yourself to the other parent in the relationship? And this is just another example of that. We're always we're comparing ourselves to other black people who are in the same fucking situations for the most part. And it's like, if any one party is doing better than the other one, then it's like, oh, y'all got it better than me, or you know what I mean? Like, and now we try to act like it's us that's doing, and it's like, no, it's not us that's doing it. It's the system that's doing it, right? They're doing it more to black women in this particular case right here, and they're doing it more to black people. To black people in general. Black women are incarcerated way more than white women are. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we're supposed to look at it. Not black women are incarcerated less than black men, right? Also, because black men are like more violent. There's all types of other reasons why men are more violent than women in general. But yeah, I just like to be clear. I just like to make sure that we don't turn. One thing that I hate, just for everybody that doesn't understand, I cannot stand when we turn issues that are like issues, like societal issues overall, and then we try to boil them down to like only in the black neighborhood. Only black people talk about finances. Only black women do this. Only black men do that. Right? Like, I just want that to, I don't like when we get on that slope, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a slippery slope. And I feel like a lot of us fall into that trap. And for people saying that nobody did that, yeah, we were doing that. It was getting in that area. And that's why I was pushing back against it. But yeah, go ahead. I'm not saying Katie was doing that, but it was going there. So that's why I stopped it. Venice, I'm sorry, brother. I brought you up and we've been going on. We got into it. So go ahead, brother. Speak your piece.
Actually, man, I just coming here to listen. You invited me up. I mostly do my talking in the comments. I'm not trying to sway people either way. I do have my own personal opinions about a lot of things that you're saying. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, I had turned the mic on. I didn't know. I had hidden save, so I didn't know if you guys were hearing me. But again, like
I brought you up here because of your comments about education, and you kind of sounded like you were like knocking education a little bit, and I didn't understand that. Like, why were you so?
I myself have a graduate degree. Okay. I've been a software engineer for 30-something years now. Nice. I do not knock education. As a matter of fact, I encourage education, but I don't treat education like it made me so much of a better person than any other person that didn't have a degree. And my comments were basically in what I have been seeing and hearing mostly lately is black women are looking down their nose at black men without degrees as if education is the only way to success. There are many black men out here who are making just as much money as black women with degrees and without student loans. You got men that's out here owning trucking companies and heating and air conditioning, doing construction work, doing a lot of the blue collar work and making pretty decent living. So when I think the conversation was kind of gravitating around education, and I was hearing how women feel like, if they are the guy without a degree, he's not on her level somehow, as if your education puts you on some type of level that makes you a lot better or more attractive to anybody. And a degree is just a credential that says that you can do a job.
Go ahead, AP.
So I'm going to say this, right? So with education, I think for people who don't have or haven't been through an educational program or something like that, I feel like they are the ones, for the most part, who think like this, right? That think it's some kind of pride thing or, oh, I've got one up on you or whatever, right? When in actuality, if you have gone through an educational program, it teaches you things like discipline, how to be consistent, how to complete things on time, project management. Like, there's certain skills that you obtain that you wouldn't if you did not obtain an education and you just, go straight to to a job and like clock in, and it doesn't require you to have any extensive knowledge or experience having done something, so you don't fuck it up, right? Like education is that like one of those things, one of those controls that are put in place in order to ensure that the job in which you're doing, that you're going to get assigned to, you don't fuck up, right? It prevents the fuck ups from happening, because there's certain jobs you just cannot fuck up, right? So that's what the education is for. And even in construction, because I used to work in construction, right, as an operations manager, like even those guys who have like electricians, or you have your plumbers and things like that, still have to have a certain amount of education in order to do what they do, because they have to get permits from the city. You have to learn how to do the paperwork, file that paperwork, know what's required in order to do all that. And that's what education also helps you with, is learning how to research something, learning how to make sure that what you're researching is valid. And you know what I'm saying? Things like that those are skill sets that you obtain. That's education. Isn't something that we go in and just get a fucking degree. We pay them $20 and we walk the fuck out saying, oh, haha, I got an education. Now that's better than you. And it's like, no, it doesn't happen like that. You have to get up for 8 a.m. classes. You have to schedule yourself the classes that you need. You need to know which classes you need in order to get certain degrees in education. Like all of that are skill sets that you have to have in order to have a certain level of salary, productivity, and things like that. So when you even say just blue collar jobs, blue collar people have to have a certain level of education to get certifications too. So I mean, that shit is a lie.
We
how
weren't
you just
talking
did
specifically
that, but,
about
okay.
education as much as we were talking about college degrees. Now,
I'm talking about specifically about college degrees, because you talked about college degrees specifically. Go ahead.
Because education is a lifelong pursuit. It's not something, and it's not something that you can only get at college. And the skills that you mentioned, as far as discipline and stuff like that, you got people that goes off into the military and get the same type of discipline, or people who become self-disciplined. Mind you, again, I am not knocking college education. I am a college education purpose. I'm just saying, using my college, my wife, when I married my wife, she was a high school dropout. I did not see her as somehow less than me because I had a college degree and she didn't. I don't value, and I think most men are not valuing you women based upon your education. But I do see, and I have heard a lot lately how women will use their education as somehow to disqualify a potential man to be vetted for a relationship.
So what's your problem with so what's your problem with that? So what if she wants to marry a man with an education with the degree? Why does that bother you?
I have no problems with anybody with preferences.
Okay.
That's their preferences. Like when I was going back and forth in the comments because that's what I do. If that is what you prefer, by all means, be that. But like what FDK Wills were saying, as far as we go forward in time, you're going to have more women with degrees than men.
That's already a reality.
You will have a limited pool. I mean, black men or any other ethnic group. Yeah. You're going to have a smaller pool of those men to choose from.
Yeah. So why are we talking about the women then? Doesn't that sound like that's a problem for the men to solve?
What?
Right. So it's not so much that women women look down. But Venice, it's not so much that women look down on men who don't have degrees. They just don't want to be romantically involved with men who don't have degrees because that's their preference, right? And that's perfectly okay. And you just said that, so I don't understand why you would say the things you were saying earlier. I don't get it.
So what do you think the man's supposed to do then?
Go to college.
Get a degree?
Go to college.
What if the man does not want to pursue his career?
Then don't pursue that woman that wants a man that wants a degree. Go get another woman, because there's plenty of women that don't care if you got a degree.
Just how about this? You do
I'm not arguing.
Do self-taught shit.
I don't think the onus is on a man to say, okay, in order for me to get a woman, I got to go alter my career plans. When I thought
what career plans? Niggas don't got. Wait, Venice, you think most black men got career plans, brother? We don't got no fucking career plans. We be out here getting it. The dudes who don't go to college don't have career plans. So that's who you speaking to. We don't got career plans. The majority of us, we don't. We just be out here getting it how we live. So change your trajectory. Go to college.
Yeah, let me. Are we talking about this type of guys? Because those type of guys are not qualified for marriage anyway. But not every guy that's not going to college is not pursuing a career otherwise. You know, I know guys right now who took got their driver's license, commercial driver's license, and they're commercial drivers. Yeah. I know guys that went through apprenticeship programs and became carpenters and HVAC workers.
Venice, did you the career that you have right now? Do you have to have a degree to work in your field?
Did I have to have a degree
to work in your field? I'm saying to work the job that you have. Did you need your degree for it?
Okay.
No. Yes or no, please.
That's kind of no. I didn't.
But you did? Okay.
Yes, I did because.
Brother, come on, man. When they record,
hold on. Let me
it's crazy.
I actually trained people in the last 5 or 6 years through a company called Lunch Code, where we took people that did not have degrees.
This is irrelevant to what I asked you, though, sir. I'm not asking. Just answer. Can you answer the question honestly? When you got your job, was one of the requirements you have a degree?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes. So wait. So imagine if you didn't have a degree, you going to your job and saying, why are y'all requiring degrees? Would you ever do that? Would you ever go to a job that required a degree and then go to the job and say, you guys look down on people who don't have degrees? Or would you just say, well, I get it. I mean, shit, they want people with degrees.
I kind of don't understand the question.
You don't understand that question? You don't understand how women wanting a man who has a degree is very similar to a job requiring you to have a degree to have said career, right? To have said job. So it's almost one to one. But you look down, but you project and you say the women are looking down on the men who don't want degrees, but you wouldn't dare say that about PepsiCo. Right? You would never say that about Tesla. You would go, oh, that makes sense. They want people with degrees. So I don't understand why is the expectation any different.
I will say that if the position that they are advertising, I believe, does not require a college degree. Now, comparing a husband to a doctor. Now, I want my doctor to have a medical degree. Mm-hmm. I don't compare my doctor's degree, the medical degree, to a degree in life that you need to become.
They have to have more than a degree, though, so they have to have a license as well. So they have to have degrees and they have to have a license to be a doctor, right? But if you want to compare it to a husband or a wife, look, who sets this in a business aspect? Because you as a business owner outside of certain fields, to be a doctor, to practice medicine, to practice law, you have to have a license and you have to have a degree in that, right? Cool. So let's exclude those. Let's talk about, like I said, let's just talk about, wait. Let's just talk about, because I used to work for a company, Enterprise, to be like a manager, to work in the branches or whatever, you have to have a degree. You don't need it. Like, it doesn't matter what the degree is. You just have to have a degree. Like, that's a stipulation of that job, right? So, so nobody from the outside world is going to Enterprise going, hey, Enterprise, you should change your criteria. You should accept me or whatever, where I'm at. Most people go, oh, it requires a degree, and you keep going. And Enterprise they are the ones who get to say, because it is their fucking company, they get to say, we require a degree. It just is what it is. Even the degree that you have doesn't even apply to the job itself, but they have the ability, because they own the company. They get to say, exactly. I want you to have a degree. The same way a woman gets to say, I want a man who has a degree in an education. I don't see how is it any different?
Can I link this up though for him real quick? The reason why public can say that though is because when I was a recruiter, right? We had to recruit for multiple different companies. Some positions did require that somebody have a degree, even if it wasn't related to that specific job. But again, as I said, when somebody gets their education, it's because you're learning skill sets such as discipline that makes you look, that makes you shine outside of all other applicants, because that employer knows that you will adhere to their procedures and policies put in place when you are in that job. They don't have to worry about it as if you're not going to follow the rules. That's really what that is about, that education system. So why should a Black woman, right, if she wants the same criteria in how her household is run in the future, why would she want to get into a situation with a man who is not going to follow a certain set of, let's be honest, everybody's household has a certain level of rules and procedures and how shit is ran. So you're telling me that Black women should overlook that, right? Because that is something that would help an individual develop discipline type of skills, and just overlook that for a man who's just going to be all willy-nilly. He's never been bound or expected to be up at 8 o'clock or to be consistent at something or to complete things on fucking time or to meet deadlines, right?
That is absolutely not what I said.
But I didn't say what you said. No, I didn't.
No, that is
Dennis, listen to me. Listen to me. Dennis, you're not listening. You're listening to respond.
You're not listening.
I am not critiquing what you said.
You are twisting something.
I'm not saying anything about what you're saying.
You gotta let her finish, and then you can respond.
I'm not saying, and this is the problem, though, right here. As you guys are seeing it, this is why black women will vet. Because if he's not listening, right? Why would an employer want to hire someone who doesn't fucking listen? You don't have the discipline to wait for somebody to finish a sentence, right? But you're saying that a Black woman should just go ahead and accept whatever fucking behavior because you've never even been trained before, right? To have any level of discipline, we should just accept whatever the fuck comes with you. So that means if you want to cut me off, that means if you want to not listen, but listen to only fucking respond, that's what should come with you. And that's you're the full fucking package, right? And Black women should accept that. That's what we should accept, even though I've gone and did my due diligence. I went and got my degree. I went and got my discipline. I got up for 8 a.m. classes, and I went to join a Black sorority at that. So I'm taking classes, joining a Black sorority, and on top of that, playing basketball. 3 different, totally separate disciplines. And you're saying me working for all of that, I should just excuse you not doing any of that and not being trained so you can be a fucking headache to me. That's what you're saying. That's what Black men are saying. And you're thinking we're snuffing our nose at something? No, we're not. It's just a fucking vast difference. I would choose the man who has gotten his education and discipline, who knows how to get up at 8 a.m., who I can rely on as a partner because I know how to get up at 8 a.m. I know shit is on a deadline. I know what it means to have to show up for my partner. We are a team. You don't know how to be a team because you're already fucking interrupting me because you're the one saying education's not important, degrees aren't fucking important. But now you see why, though. But go off, sis.
Okay, so you sit back, you interrupt me, then complain because I'm telling you, you are twisting what I'm saying to make a whole nother argument.
Just respond to what she was saying.
To argue that I am not even arguing about.
Can you just respond to what she said? And we don't have to go through all of that. You interrupted her. It's all good, brother.
You let her do her whole spill.
I did.
About
I just want you to respond to it.
Not having discipline and all this. I respond in such a way, and I'm not as angry as she was speaking. I'm speaking, as a matter of factly. But I'm just answering what she's saying. Now you're telling me how to answer it. Again, I am not making no suggestion that a woman should do anything that she do not want to do. But everything that you just said, you basically said that a man without a degree is not motivated. He's lazy. The stuff that you were saying is not just characteristic of someone who without a degree. A degree does not make you that type of person. If you're that type of person and you get a degree, then you're that type of person. You can be all of what you just said without a degree. I am personally not knocking a person with a degree or without. I do not hold no woman in no more higher regards than I will hold a woman of no more higher regards with a degree than I hold a woman without a degree. It's just that now that women, it appears to me, and this is my perspective, that now that women, black women specifically, are getting degrees, I'm hearing them using their degree as if that qualifies them more as a better person than a man without a degree. As if somehow you has magically transformed into this type of creature that makes you some,
Creature.
a person that's much well qualified to, much more qualified than another human that does not have the same credentials. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Take it with what you want. But
That's
Yeah.
not even.
before
Oh
you try
man.
to judge a person without a degree as if they don't get up at 8 o'clock too.
I think
That was only one criteria, and I was using that as a damn example. That wasn't the end all be all. I didn't even
yeah.
that.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I think, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. And I think what she's saying is that the likelihood that you're not, and I'm just going to paraphrase because I want to cut to the point. The likelihood that you ain't lazy, the likelihood that you ain't a bum, the likelihood that you have some level of discipline is higher if you have a college degree. That I think that's all she's saying. I don't think she's saying that every dude who has a degree gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning and is disciplined, all that stuff. She's just saying that my chances that is the case is exponentially higher with somebody with a degree. And she doesn't only think that, also companies think the same fucking thing. So it ain't just her. Society thinks that in general. So I don't know.
Oh,
It doesn't make you a better
literal.
person. It doesn't make you a better person as far as your character is concerned. Nobody has ever said that. You can still be a great individual. You can still be nice. You can still be sweet, right? Nobody's saying that. But so where are you getting that from? I've never heard a black woman say
I'm
you're
getting
less
it
than me
from,
as
All
a
it does
what
is
I'm
person
hearing
now.
black women say, and I'm
all
getting
it
it from
does is give me a
specifically what
clue.
she
You don't
just
walk
said.
into these white establishments and be mad at them that they're fucking requiring degrees though. That's what's crazy to me. Because you can sit there and bark at me about my fucking requirements for a black man, right? But then you're not the same black man that'll walk into a white corporation and cuss them out though for them thinking lowly of you because you don't have a degree though. You're not gonna do that same thing, but it's easier to do that to me. And that's what black women also are saying that they have a fucking problem with. Right? Because the same things that black men will sit there and complain to us about, you won't dare say to a fucking white man. And that's the problem. Because let that
Because
energy
they're
be for
not asking
everybody.
the
Don't
white
let that
man,
energy stop here, bro. I'm
they're
gonna
not
encourage you
asking the white
actually.
man
That's
And
why
let me say this
don't
though.
do
That's
that.
why I have a problem when black
All right.
men blame the system for issues, because they will use that same system against black women in a negative way, but then use it when it benefits them. We're not, like I said before, we're not able to blame single motherhood for the system for that. It's also important to note that I just find it so funny that they talk about women having standards and all these other things. Black women have zero standards. Like, let's be realistic. This is brand new, because when you look at what black women are marrying, they're not marrying men with degrees. They are heading households, so they don't care about those things. And that is the problem, because when you look at it statistically, people who have degrees fare better in marriages. A part of that is because of the economics. We have to be realistic here. A lot of the issues that people have come down to the economic situations. So like, when they talk about single dads doing better than single mom, it's because of the economics that are related to it. So at the end of the day, just because women are finally having, black women specifically, are finally having requirements because you told us to vet, the FBI can't vet these men, the CIA can't vet these men. Therefore, they need to have a way to weed out men. And if having a degree is one of them, that is fine. You all have your preferences. You won't date a fat chick. I won't dare to do without a degree. What's the deal?
That
Can
sounds
I
fair to me.
comment public?
Go,
Can I
who is
comment
that?
real
Go ahead.
quick public?
No,
Is I'm no expert.
wait. I know there's been people waiting up here. I got to get to
Okay,
the
no problem.
general. Yeah, we're gonna get to the general. No, yeah, I think it's is it that? Yeah, the general. than that dude. Go ahead, General.
Touch bases on the education thing. I understood the brother. I ain't gonna even lie to you because, and to the point of, like when he said, when you asked him, did he have a degree when he started his job? Did he need a degree for it? When he said he did, but he didn't, I kind of understood that because I thought I needed a degree to be a diesel mechanic. You feel me? But when I get in the field, everybody in there younger than me, no degrees, no nothing, and they making more money than me. So a degree really ain't that. You feel me? Like me, I'm a single father. You feel me? I'm doing this here. I built my own business. I work for myself now. That's just that. But I'm trying to give my son a choice. You feel me? And it's good dads out here. I'm listening to y'all, and y'all really basing. To me, it sounds like y'all basing a lot of one small demographic of men, because in the neighborhood, in the area I grew up in Chicago, West Side, Holy
You
City.
breaking up. You breaking up. You breaking up. Go back. You said in the neighborhood you grew up in. Wait. First you said just before you even start on that. First you
Okay.
said we're basing it on a small demographic of men, and then your very next sentence was the men that I know, which is a small demographic of men. But go ahead.
And, the reason I'm saying I base it off a small demographic of men, because as you see, my name is OYD the General. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the general of a whole organization of a brotherhood of men, as well as women. All of us, we stand together. The whole aspect of ours is obey your dream. So when you want to start your dream, you don't start it by yourself. Even if it's money, friends, whatever, we're gonna help in any type of way. So I'm here to let you know there's brothers every day that I meet that I know for a fact that they want better. They want better for themselves. They want better for their families. On one note, back to other lady, she was talking about how do men show black women that they love them. I could tell you one way a black man shows that they love their black women. You know how many families out here where the father is raising 3 or 4 of someone else's children, and he's treating them, hold on, and he's treating them like his own. That's showing love. I love you, woman. I don't care what you have. I don't care what you came with.
I
I'm gonna take
you're
care of
not
you
talking
and
about the
everything.
same group of men who
Hey,
had a whole
but wait,
stepfather movement. They
wait.
had a whole movement
I agree.
saying that
Hey,
they
I
didn't even
agree.
got.
Okay. Okay.
I agree that I agree that a lot of black men are stepfathers. But let's be real. A lot of those same black men who are stepfathers have abandoned their biological children, brother. So
No,
that's
no,
crazy.
no.
That's
Hey,
a
hey,
wild
hey.
statement to make.
I can't say that because you're still using that as a small portion. If you want to use small portion of men, I'm going to use a
Wait.
small portion of men as myself. I just
That's
fought
all
for
you
my
doing.
son.
But
Hold
So
on,
do
hold on.
you get to
I just fought
subjectively
for my
that's all you
say
son.
doing.
something
I'm
is a
not
small
using a small
portion?
portion. There's actual numbers that point to this, brother. I'm
Do
not
you
using
get
my
to
own
Okay,
anecdotal
okay.
experience.
All
Okay,
right.
hold on,
So
hold on.
what numbers point to black men abandoning their kids and taking
I
care of
think
someone
I
else?
think it's I think
Hold
Stop
on,
for
one
a
at a
second.
time, and you're breaking up really bad, General.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, I want you to
Y'all
pull
get
up
really
this stat.
pissy when
I
people
want you to
actually
listen to
listen to
someone else
words
talking
that
You
over
somebody
gotta
me
else.
let
again.
him finish. You can respond
That's
to
so
him after.
disrespectful. Okay, now one demographic I need you to pull up and tell me the stats on it. Hold on, let me see.
I
'Cause
ain't pulling up shit.
hold on. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we not.
He said I'm talking about a small demographic. I'm telling you what you can pull up. How many black men are in their father's life? It's a word stipulation that y'all putting on us that we not there. But statistically speaking, you can look up the numbers. There are more black men in the child's lives than white men. I'm gonna base it
Excuse
on
me?
that. Pull it up, man. You want
No,
me to pull
you
it up
pull
and
it
go live? I
up.
gotta
You're
get
the
the
one
phone.
saying it.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna show you.
No, he's not. I know. No. If you actually read that study and you don't parrot talking points, at the bottom of that study, it says that it was such a minute amount of men who did the study. It's not a reflection
But we
of the
still got great
majority.
numbers.
And then on top
What
of
is you
it,
talking?
let me finish
All
speaking.
listen to
Let
me.
me finish speaking.
All studies,
If you look
all
into
studies I
self,
did on the
hold on, let
on
me
a
finish
small
speaking.
demographic because
Let
they
me
never
finish,
came to ask
dude.
me
Oh my
for
god,
that
I'm
stuff.
about to drop him. Shut
I'm just
up.
saying.
General, you
When
gotta,
you look at
you
statistics,
gotta let her
right?
finish, brother.
Okay, go ahead.
Self-reported is one of the. It literally has no bearing because it's
Okay.
self-reported. Just like when they talk about eyewitness testimonies, they are the least reliable. So again,
Okay.
we're not, and then say the stat is right. Say the
You
stat is
proved
right
your
when
point.
black men are, but that is when they are in the home. Majority of them are not. So again,
Hold on.
irrelevant.
See, let me respond on that. You
Why are
just
you supposed to
said,
be giving
see,
us the stat?
hold on, you just said that the stacks was from a small margin and that's how that stuff come. But you just pulled up a stat a little while ago trying to show us something. Was
How?
that you or was that another one? How
What was
you
the
gonna
stat?
how you gonna do something that you
But
just really
why
just
you?
What was the
You can't
stat?
even specify who did
Because
it.
we
He just
actually
showed it. What are you
we
trying to prove
actually
right
read
now?
the stat in its entirety, not just bullet points. Women actually read the statistics and the study that goes along with the statistics
Right.
that we
so
talk
women
about.
do it but
Y'all
men
take
don't.
one little
No,
fucking minute
general.
bullet point and then want to run with it.
What
General,
is you
Wait, some
talking
men.
about? We
Wait,
general.
let's
running
be.
with it. Y'all
Hey,
running
pause,
with
pause,
something I
pause.
can make
Hold
it
on, hold
Wait,
on, hold
sir,
on.
okay,
The
sir,
host is
okay.
trying to
sir,
speak.
Go
wait
ahead.
Hold
up,
on.
brother. Wait up, wait up, wait up, wait
Yeah,
up. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
I'm just
Some
pouring
men, some men, some people do this, but in this particular case, especially with this stat, some men, most men who use this, they intentionally misinterpret the stat, or they unintentionally
Oh my
misinterpret the
god.
stat, right?
Oh my
So,
god. I didn't.
You
so,
had to be
so
quiet.
so the numbers, even you can I'll take everything at face value, right? I'll do everything you want. I'll take that it's true. I'll take that black, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. I'll buy all of that stuff in the study, right? Like I'm saying, even though it's self-reported, I'll buy that we are the most involved in all that stuff. But to Katie's point, it is talking about black men when we are actually not even in the home, because it is even when we're out the home, but it's when we are involved in the kid's life, right? It's when we are there, not physically, whatever, but when we actually do show up, when we actually do have contact with the child, and yeah, whatever, we are more involved. Cool, I'll accept that. But the other side of that statistic is you would have, or not the other side of that stat or whatever. But when you get into the real numbers, black men abandon their children at a higher clip than any other demographic. So then you have to take that as well. You have to say, okay, so when we're there, we're better, right? That's what that stat tells me. When we're there, we're better. But you have to start with, are we there? And the answer is not enough. That's what it is. So what's your how
You
do you
sound really
refute
far
that?
away,
Drop.
public.
He dropped. Let me see in the request if he came. Send another request. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
He dropped. That was who you were responding to,
Public's in
public.
the car. Public's in the car, but I can hear him though. I can hear him.
He's gone. Wasn't it the
I
dude
can
who
hear
was
you. It just sounds far away.
He said
Oh,
he was doing a job, so he may have gotten a bad
okay,
signal at a certain
let's
point.
introduce the new people who came up. I think it's Sock.
Socks.
Socks, yeah, go ahead.
there for a while.
And then we'll go
Yeah.
to that dude next.
All right. It was so much
Yeah.
going on or whatever. I kind of lost my thought, but from what it was. But I just want to start out. I think a lot of times though, when it comes to a lot of black people, I think the first thing we need to really kind of step away from is stop using. We need to start using terms more like some and a lot. Because a lot of times I be hearing a lot of people talking about black men and all that different type of stuff. Can't really just speak on every single black man because a lot of times we only deal with and talk about things that we know or hear our friends talk about or whatever. Because I grew up with a family of my parents, been married 47 years, so I understand both sides. And I was married before. I played a part in getting a divorce too. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still not blaming the other side. I still say some. But then I'm kind of skip from that. But then going to like the degrees, I get it. Everybody got their preference, what they want to do on the degrees and everything. But I went to school and did like 2 years of fashion market fashion design, dropped out of it and started pursuing on my own job, on my own job. But I make more than a lot of people be making it that got degrees. And I think it just depends because I have came across women and everything with you. They will mess with you if you don't have a degree. I think it all depends on how you come at them and then how you Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I started hearing myself, but I think it just depends because it just, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of guys, can me and my brother talk about this, and I know a lot of guys too, really don't. I'm not knocking nobody or no men or women or nothing like that, but it's a lot of guys really don't put out a lot. You see what I'm saying? Don't know how to do a lot, and I think a lot of times that would succeed if a lot of men knew how to do some stuff. Then women wouldn't really just look at a lot of degrees like that, because even if you don't have a degree and you got a business and everything, doing what you got to do, educate yourself, I think, that could supersede a degree. So, like I said, I know a lot of people with
Crazy,
degrees
yo.
that don't have. I'm
That's
just saying. I
crazy.
know it might sound crazy, but then at the same time,
No, because
because you
I'm
don't gotta
saying,
have.
Hold on. Let him land, AP, and then
I
we
thought
can go to
y'all.
you.
No, I want to hear what she got to say.
All right.
What
I
she
was
not
just gonna
getting.
say, because we don't ever women, you don't hear women sitting around here like, well, if she, I think if she could learn to do a little few things here and there, and we don't never have these conversations amongst women. Like the women, that's what's absurd to it, and so it's like this bar is in hell. But let's kind of raise it a little bit. If he knows how to do a little this and a little bit of that and a sprinkle of this here and a sprinkle of that, then, maybe, and it's like, it's insane to me.
No, that's sound. Okay, go
Because
ahead.
women don't even get that same regard. Like, but we get ridiculed. If y'all are so okay with a man doing a little bit of this, that here, or learning a little bit of that there, why the fuck do we get hate then for going to the moon, the fucking stars, and all that shit?
Listen,
I don't even
but listen what I'm
understand
saying.
where the ridicule comes from if y'all okay with a little fucking sprinkle.
No, this one I'm saying. This one I'm saying about the whole thing. I'm saying that I think that if people, because me, I don't have a degree, but I make over $100,000 to do my own thing.
Right.
But see, I
Everyone
come
on
across a
TikTok
lot of.
does.
No, I mean that's everybody else. I'm speaking for my own. I'm speaking for my own. So when you work at a corporate job and then you can walk away and go do your own thing and survive out here, and you doing your thing, I'm pretty good at what I do. I do a lot of renovations, build houses, general contractor, and
But
all that
that's
type of stuff.
still
My
part of
page don't look like crap, but at the same time, it still didn't take a degree to get to where I'm at. But what I'm saying is, I think that the simple fact, the reason why it comes with a woman, a lot of times a woman say something about a degree, because there's a lot of guys out here not making money like that. But I'm saying, but if you had more to bring to the table or something like that, because I'm just saying, because a lot of men, I'm actually agreeing with y'all to a certain extent, but it's like a lot of men out here really don't know how to do nothing. But if they knew how to do something, they could bring more to the table than a freaking degree. Because a lot of people got a degree. Listen, a lot of people got a degree. A lot of people got a degree, and I made more money than them. So at the same time, whether
So are
you
we measuring just this by money? Because I got all the
that's why I wanted to
degrees.
stop it.
Wait.
So
Socks. It's not about the money, Socks. That's why I wanted you to stop
then what's the
saying.
Oh my
point?
goodness.
Okay,
Oh
okay.
man.
so
It
it's
is
not
an
about money.
indicator. It Socks. Can I explain something to you so you don't keep explaining it in like you're missing the entire point. It is
Hold
not.
on, AP. AP, you've been cooking for a hot minute.
He doesn't understand.
Let somebody else cook.
Though,
Yeah, AP,
bro.
let me cook real quick because I got the
All right,
degrees.
well,
And
you
I
gonna
want
make
to
Wait.
All right.
No. You gotta go to that dude.
Hold on, Eddie. Hold on, Doc. Like, look.
Who's trying to talk? Y'all box is not moving.
It's that dude or
I
Dr.
would
Eddie.
love to go.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, that dude.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so, like, all this is crazy. First off, the most disciplined people I have ever met and that I know have been in, or are in the military. Not while I was in college. College, getting a degree, a lot of times, especially a bachelor's, is just another version of a certificate nowadays. It's not like, oh, well, this person got this bachelor's degree and they are oh so great and they're oh so disciplined and they're going to wake up at this time and they're going to do this and they're going to follow this rule and that rule. That's not the case. It can mean that. It probably should mean that, but it doesn't mean that. Even people in the military being as disciplined as they can be does not mean they're going to be great or even good in relationships. And the stats prove that by the higher divorce rate that we had in the military. But the preference of what you want is fine. It's just how you go about it as you're putting down people who either don't have a degree or do have a degree, or they're in the military, they aren't in the military, they have a certificate, they don't have a certificate, she can cook, she can't cook, whatever. It's just another way that we used to go at each other over something that is completely ridiculous. You are either wanting to be a good partner or not. Yes, statistics do back up and do show that having a degree, even an advanced degree, makes they're more successful at marriage, both parties.
The thing about it, though, is the thing that's important to know is that, and people who don't have a degree aren't gonna know this. So it's just kind of hard to have the conversation, because people who got a degree know that it's not just about the degree. It's about the other things that you learn between that kind of degree, like being able to do unbiased research, being able to network, speak to people, you have an elevator pitch, things like that. That is the importance. Let me finish speaking. Let me finish. That's the important.
Most people don't even know what unbiased research is, even that have degrees.
Are you going to be like this?
Y'all cut me off.
You raise your hand to speak, so you don't speak over people. Those are things that you learn in school, which we see that you can't even do just on the platform. So things like that,
that's
like
exactly
waiting
what
for
you
people,
just did.
waiting for. Can you please?
That's exactly what you just did.
When I'm finished, I will let you respond, but I will drop you. I will let you respond. You just have to let me finish.
Well, you missed the detail when she got. She's the host. That's
go ahead.
Hold on.
She's one of the moderators and one of the hosts.
For public,
so you have
away. But yeah, so in general, so there are different things that you learn in college aside from the degree. It's just things like that. But unless you have one, you experienced it, you won't know that. So even with the degree does nothing for you if you're not able to network, if you're not able to basically in a way sell yourself. It will do nothing for you. You also know the importance of you change your major, so you end up finding out that, oh, you know what, this is something else that I'm passionate about. A lot of people find out who they are in college through those classes a lot of the time. So that is what's important that gets missed. It's not just about the degree. That in a lot of ways the degree can become irrelevant, but what isn't irrelevant is the interpersonal skills that you learn throughout that experience. You can respond now, that dude, and then we're gonna wait. Duchess, did you come before? Hold on.
I'm a person.
Hold on. Let me do some. Hold on. Let me
finish.
Dude, hold on.
I've been in the military.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Duchess, when did you come up before export?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, you're gonna go.
I thought import was here before me.
No. I'm no expert. Came up.
I'm no expert was here. Yeah.
Okay, so then after him. Yeah. After him, we're gonna do I'm no export, and then Duchess, and then we'll go up to Tisha. Go ahead, that dude.
All right. Yeah, I have a delay and an echo, so I apologize. This comes off weird. I've been to college. I was in the military. I didn't finish my degree set, but I still own a business. So I see all three sides of this. Owning a business, is different than just having a degree, and the military discipline is different than college. Like, I get the whole point that, even changing majors, which I did, learning what you might like or love, which I, changed my degree set for. I understand all of that. However, I see firsthand that having a degree does not, one, make you educated, two, does not make you a good partner, and even the chance of you being educated or being a better partner does not really increase with a degree. It increases with your wanting, with your desire to be those things, to be a better partner and to become educated. And that takes discipline. And a lot of times people going through college do not gain a very well-rounded version of discipline. They can study some text. They can decipher what's in those texts, and they can basically put that back out for a test so they can get this degree or certificate. But other than that, they generally don't move on to understand any of the material more so than that. So I get that, you know, you want to put so much on a degree and everything else, and it should be like that. But it's just, in a lot of people, it just does not translate like that. If you want those things for yourself, then it will translate like that. But it just does not come across like that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm no expert.
Okay, so I've been sitting back patiently and listening to, you know, a lot of different, and I do get where that dude is coming from. I'm listening intently to make sure that, you know, he's following his own rhetoric. What I've gleaned in all of this is that I really, 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 really wish that a lot of, since y'all want somebody to say some and a lot of, and this, that, and the third, first and foremost, ain't nobody got the time nor the patience to be sitting here spoon feeding and hand holding y'all through conversations and sentences. That's number one. I've gotten to the point in all of this where I'm just straight dog walking motherfuckers at this point, because I'm just not going to do it. So if you cannot in a conversation or a situation understand that if it does not apply to you, then ain't nobody talking to you or about you, please exit stage left. That's just how I feel about it, because I'm not going to sit there and argue with you about it. I'm going to have a general conversation about general things that where we already know the statistics, and if they're above 50% is most people. So let's just start there as far as I'm concerned. Second, when we are having this conversation, it does not necessarily have to be a degree that is the measure. However, as people in general, we have to start putting more emphasis on higher education, period. If it's a degree, if it's some sort of, trade program, if it's some sort of, situation that gets you in a higher tax bracket because we know that it takes money to live, then that's just a starting point. Understand that some sort of higher education other than middle school, high school, or the dropout rates that we have is what people are looking for. They're looking for drive. They're looking for motivation. They're looking for you to have your own personal goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations other than sleeping on somebody's couch and living in your mama basement. So if you cannot come to the table to a Black woman with that, we are no longer accepting that. Go get yourself a trade. Go get yourself a certificate. Go get your CDL. I'm a truck driver. I make more than most men, two of them put together. Okay. That's just by myself. Before that, I was a licensed life and health insurance agent and a financial planner. So I made money doing that. I understand finances. We as our demographic are the lowest on the totem pole, unfortunately, when it comes to our men. Most other cultures know, recognize, and understand that higher education is paramount. Any other group of people that comes to this country usually comes here for the opportunities of education. The Indian population is the highest. I think it's the Indian and the Asian population of men are the highest paid in the world. When their parents and their families and their culture puts education as the highest on the totem pole. They are doctors, they are lawyers, they are, all of these high powered positions. And that's why they're outdoing us. Our people seem to think they can just skirt by and get along and it's okay. And that's why not only our men, but our women are still trying to climb their way up. Okay, so women have taken the position that they are now going to get their educations, they're going to have their degrees, they're going to live a better lifestyle and prepare a better lifestyle for their children. And men are still in that 1970s documentary that we saw where the man was talking about, well, the women just ain't willing to accept what we can provide. So no, we're not doing that anymore. We're not in the 1970s dragging y'all along by your afro trying to bring you up out of the gutter We're going out and getting it on our own. And if you, sir, cannot have enough motivation and drive within yourself to go get you a certificate, to go get you some sort of trade, to start your own business, or to go get you a degree of some sort so that you, or go into the military, like you said, to have some sort of discipline in your life to show us that you are not only have that for yourself, but you are preparing for a family, you're going to get left in the dust. And as far as what the lady was saying about doing it while you're in college, what I understood is that if you do want to be married, and if you do want a family, and if you do want these things, start young. Now, me personally, what I took from that is if there ain't a whole lot of black men in these colleges, there's a whole lot of damn chads. There's a whole lot of damn chads in them schools that are looking for marriage, that are looking for, opportunities and looking for the good jobs when they come out of college. Rub elbows with them mofos. If the black men ain't there and not in the same numbers that we are as black women, move on to the next one, because why should you remain stagnant just sitting there waiting on a damn black man to figure out that it's going to take money in this life to raise a family?
Can I say something?
No, you can't. I have to let the people who just came up here, they haven't gotten a chance to speak yet. So we're gonna do Duchess, and then Tisha, and then AP. And then what guy came off mute that wanted to
one more
speak?
point. I wasn't all the way finished. I just have one more point, and then I'm gonna land.
Yeah,
okay.
I like to.
So
go ahead.
what I was gonna say is that we as black women for too freaking long have been the baby mamas and left in the dust because the financials just weren't there when it came to our demographic of men. Now we are no longer, we're waking the fuck up. We're no longer going to allow ourselves to be at the bottom and be baby mamas instead of wives and having families. If y'all ain't trying to get on board with that, exit stage left and get your ass left in the dust and stop crying about us raising our standards, because you told us to raise our standards. Now we're doing it. Now you're backpedaling and have a whole titty fits, and y'all just need to shut the hell up or step the hell up. And I land.
Okay, we're gonna do Duchess, Tisha, and then Doctor. You haven't gotten a chance to speak yet.
No. I love a chance to get into my turn.
Okay, and then we'll go to AP after. Go ahead, Duchess.
Okay, yeah, I'm probably going to end up parroting a lot of what you had to say, sis. That was amazing. But I do think, first of all, I think we're putting way too much of an emphasis on the degree itself, because I think that there was a guy like maybe 30 minutes ago who came up here and specifically said degree, and he was making comments about that. But now I think has just spun into us putting so much weight on the literal paper of the degree itself, when I don't think any woman is actually doing that. I did want to speak on what's on the board here, and I do think she is centering marriage and centering women to be getting that MRS degree. I think that's problematic as hell. We no longer live in a time where getting married is necessary unless you actually have assets to protect and pass down to children and whatnot. If you don't, I really don't see the point in that. We don't need to be telling women to center men in general or marriage. But I'm of the belief that since y'all were talking about the some and a few, that I'm of the belief that most men are absolutely trash. Most of them. They're not educated, violent, driven by the Johnson in their pants, emotionally stunted, misogynistic. I think a lot of men are that way. And so that's where I think it's important for Black women to start practicing hypergamy. They've never done it before. It's very important for women to do that. And in order to do that, they have to have certain standards, like higher education, whether that be the military or college or getting a certificate or just reading. Reading in general. There's a lot of books that can teach you a lot of things, but stressing higher education, sexual discipline, and emotional intelligence are, I think, key factors for any woman. And any man that really has a problem with that, like, they want women lower themselves in order to give them a chance. And we're no longer in that age anymore. And I'll yield there.
Yeah, great girl. Great. I think, we're going to do Tisha. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like what this Duchess said is very important. Women need to just basically, if you want to get married, that should be a choice. It shouldn't be pushed on Black women to get married and have children. All in all, we're not living in the 1800s no more. You literally can live however you want to live. You don't have to have a man to have a life. Absolutely. And I also want to just say that we all adults here. We all understand that it's not the degree. We all know the degree means money, means success, it means money. So to even try to change the narrative and say, oh, just because you have a degree, that don't mean you're a nice person. You know what the F we mean when we say get a degree to get with us, because that means you're most likely to be successful. But it has been cultivated in the Black community for Black men to be lazy. Being a bum have became normalized amongst Black men. It's not pushing for Black men to go get their degree to be successful. You know what the new narrative is be a gold digger. Go find a woman with a degree and go move in with her because she need a man. That's why I always tell women, have self-love. You don't need a man, because men have realized the hack of success is through you. It's through your success. Meaning that if you want a man, you desperate for a man, I'm what you need. I'm what you want. I'm what you gotta have. And then they'll slide in your house, eat up your food, use your money, use your electricity, and here you go with no. And that's the reason why they don't want you to have standards, so you can get with a bum, so you can get with a dusty. They keep weaponizing love. All these men up in here talking about it's love, it's character. No, it's not. It's about me buying your goddamn Xbox and about me buying your Jordans. Don't weaponize love. We beyond past that shit. We have seen through generation to generation. It has nothing to do with love. Cause I'm gonna just break this shit down and start and let you men know that, listen, we hip to the game. You weaponize love, you weaponize family, you weaponize all of this just so you can take advantage of a woman's desperation for a man, because that's what patriarchy had did to us. They made women desperate for a man. If you don't have a man, you're not validated, you're bitter and all this. I can tell the men in the comments are going to say, I'm bitter because I'm saying don't get no man. And that's what has keep being pushed on women. You don't need to be with a man because you have men like this that will take advantage of you. You have a dusty who will take advantage of your degree. The audacity of these dusties to tell you need to lower your standard. You don't need to get with a man with a degree, but the dusty want a woman with a degree. I don't understand that. They have the audacity to have standards saying, oh, get with a woman and have her own place. Are you serious? Listen, we're not going to play them damn games no more. It has nothing to do with love, has nothing to do with Black families. It's about lowering your standards so a dusty, busty Negro don't have to work. He will use the degree that you work for to benefit him. Now I'll land there.
Ooh, jeez. I think I said it was Dr. next, and then
yeah. So first and foremost, eloquently spoken. I want to thank all of my beautiful Black queens on the call that are really just providing insight, taking the flight, getting their degrees, and being those change agents. It's not said enough. This is a deep topic for me because as a Black male who has gone to school, I always get ridiculed on that. Like, oh, why are you getting a white man's degree? Why are you doing X, Y, Z? Why are you doing that?
I love this. I love what you're about to say. Go ahead. I love this.
I gotta preach because, I'm so sick and tired of us not doing what we need to do to take care of our communities and take care of our families and being those change agents. I went through 22 years of school and I only had one Black female teacher. I had 0 black male teachers. And I'm not talking about basketball coaches and football coaches. I'm talking about actually in the class teaching me a subject. And I did not have that. And in my philosophy was I want to be that change agent because our kids are going through these systems. 84%, I'm pulling statistics now because I'm sick of it. I want to have this conversation. 84% of our kids end up dead or in jail. 84%. And we're only, 13% of the population? But we're ending up dead and in jail. And that's the system that we're choosing to go through, mainly jail. And nobody
language, say unaliving.
Right. And nobody sits and talks about what can we do to change the cycle. What are we doing to educate our youth? And how are we being those change agents? School ain't for me and this ain't for me. You're not forming any educated, arguments. And if you saying, I got my own business, that's great. But if you don't know how to balance an accounting sheet, if you don't know how to balance your budget, you're going to get taken advantage of. So what are you telling me when you saying you're not willing to go educate yourself and you're not willing to go get a degree so that you can be smarter so you can learn some basic things about how to write your own trademarks? How about not letting anybody take advantage of you? Oh, and how about keeping our households together? Because let me pull another statistic. The average white family makes $171,000. The average white household. Asians are a little bit higher. You know what the average black family makes? I paused for a second intentionally. 17,000. That means we make 10 cents on the dollar of every white family household. So what does that tell me? That tells me there's a lot of big capping going on. There's a lot of people lying. That's the median too. So that's a lot of real big capping. People saying, I got this, and I'm making that, and I'm doing this, and I'm out here. No, you're not. We got to stop that. And we don't help each other. It's the crab in the bucket mentality. We don't pick each other up. Black women are sitting here telling you, hey, look, we got standards. We want our men to meet us halfway, or at least meet us here so we can build strong households. And we sitting here arguing about that in the comments and complaining about it. And I'm saying we because collectively we all get looped into that. And I'm just tired. I'm tired as a black male because I'm leading the charge. I'm a professor. I'm putting on events. I'm doing what I can. I'm raising a black daughter. I'm raising 2 black sons, and I'm trying to change the tide. I'm tired of being the only one in the room. I'm tired of standing in rooms and I'm having to make excuses because none of us. I don't see us in the rooms. I see black women, So I'm the only black male around a few black women, and then that's it. I'm tired, and I'm tired of this narrative that we can't be. And we can't do because we can. We're just choosing not to. We're choosing to glorify sports and putting our kids in entertainment and all this other stuff. I came from Detroit, and that's what my parents. I did entertainment. You could look at my bio. That's what I did, and I was good at it. And then I realized, why am I just doing what everybody expected me to do? Why don't I go out and educate myself? I got taken advantage of by lawyers and people in the music business. And I said, man, why am I not educating myself? And so I started to learn. I started to read contracts and wanted to learn that information. And that's valuable. If we put more of our black children and kids and taught them how to educate themselves and become doctors, lawyers, whatever they want to be, even business owners, if we teach them to do it the right way, I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry, I'm going to get off my diatribe. I get triggered in these conversations because I'm hearing black women talking, and I applaud y'all for being patient with us because we got to do.
We're glad to hear the passion, sir. Seriously, because the unfortunate conversation among most of them.
Please block Drea out the live, please. Thank you. No, I'm just
Can you at her for me?
No, I'm kidding.
I just wanted to speak on. I'm sorry.
It was AP's turn.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Can I go after her, please?
Somebody had asked Flawless if there's an order on people coming up to the panel.
Public was the one adding people, but if anyone wants to drop so we can rotate.
Yeah, I'll drop so it's easier for y'all to rotate. I've been here for a minute, so my bad. So first I did want to talk. The other dude dropped or whatever who said, he's making more money, and he didn't go to school or get a degree, because to Dutch's point, we're emphasizing the degree, and it's not about the degree, guys, because this is why I'm saying degree, because that's the measuring cup for most companies, because they will put degree on their website. But what I'm saying is what the degree indicates, right? And because you have a certain discipline, is what makes the chances or likelihood of something, of an outcome, higher for you. That is what I am saying, right? So, and there's studies to show that and support that, right? You can look that up on your own time. But what I'm saying is that's the indication of degrees. It's not about the degree itself. It's not about just like I said, go walk into the store. Hey, can I get a degree for $20? All right. And walk the fuck back out.
Indication of higher education, you mean?
And I'm saying an indication of like skill sets, an indication of like the likelihood of success in certain areas, depending on whatever you're getting your degree in. Like it indicates a lot of those things. And so when Black women are saying that they have certain requirements, those requirements are because they want the likelihood or they want the likelihood of a certain outcome to just be, right? Like a household, like we said, the earning potential is higher with both adults in the house who have degrees is higher than that of, both adults who either don't have degrees or one that doesn't have a degree. Like, so it fucking matters with the earning potential and the fact that capitalism exists and all that, like, right? So when you're thinking strategically and smart in terms of just like wanting to, not have to live in poverty, because that's very uncomfortable. That's not something that people strive for because it's so fucking uncomfortable. Degrees is not something that's supposed to slap somebody else in the damn face. It's just so that you don't have to struggle. That's one less thing you have to fight against when you are in a marriage or in a relationship, right? In a household. Nobody wants to be struggling over the last fucking scrap of food because you can't put food on the table. Like, it matters. It does matter. It's a direct result. It directly results in a positive outcome. So that's all I'm saying when it comes to that. You can still earn without a degree. Yes. But again, if you don't want to get your degree, pick up a book and self-teach. Like you can't be above teaching yourself something, right? Like, at least study and do something, right? It's a discipline. Like, regardless if you get your formal education or you decide to pick up a book that you saw in your house lying around and you want to start to study that, you're still giving yourself an educational opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's going to yield some benefits for you. So let's not act like picking up a book or teaching yourself something is just not going to yield to anything. That's the point of that. So fuck a degree. If a degree is what triggers you, then remove it from the damn the vocabulary. Because I think it's so distracting for y'all that y'all are not realizing what it could result in, right? Like, that's all it is. You can just self-teach. That's fine. Do your thing. You can still teach yourself to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? If you want to own a bunch of trucks and all that stuff, like, you can do that and still earn, but it still requires a level of discipline. There's nothing that you are going to be able to do, right, that's going to lead to success without discipline. At the end of the day, you have to have the discipline. You will be taught the discipline in your failures. Your failures will teach you that you have no choice but to be disciplined. That means you have no choice but to have to get up 5 days out of the week and grind out here. And do it again the next week, and then do it again. And that's consistency. That's another discipline all in of itself. You have to be consistent. So those are the things that Black women are looking for when it comes to vetting a partner. And since y'all Black men are talking about choose better, and we are now going and diving deeper into how we can choose better because we're doing better for ourselves, for one, y'all can't sit here and shit on the fact that that's what women would want to require. If she requires your ass to have a degree, then that's just what the fuck it is. You can't get upset with her because of her fucking requirements, because her outlook on life or her strategy or plan for her life does not yield in poverty. The audacity of you to beg somebody or want somebody to, or shame somebody into just being poverty or being base or being below average. That's crazy for anybody to ask that, or for you to just pay a light bill and then that's it. That light bill does nothing to my grass needing to be cut backyard and front yard.